Planning a Christmas trip to Europe can feel a bit overwhelming. There are so many destinations to choose from, a ton of Christmas markets, and everyone online seems to find better deals than you. And if you've never planned a trip like this before, it's hard to know where to start. In this video, we'll be walking you through the exact steps we take every year when booking our Christmas trips. From choosing dates and finding the best flights, to picking the right area to stay in, which activities to do, and making sure everything runs smoothly. These are the tips that always work for us, and they'll make your Christmas travel planning so much easier. The first thing we do is decide when we want to go, and not primarily where we want to go. This is because we tend to be more flexible with the destination. That way we can find the best deals, and it's more fun that way. Unless there's a particular destination on your bucket list, of course. Most Christmas markets are in December, so that's usually the month we focus on. Before you book a trip, make sure the time you plan to go, the markets are running in that destination. We also think about how long the trip will be. Are we looking at a weekend trip, a long weekend, or a full week? It's important to know this because it will affect where we stay and what we can realistically see and do. Once we have our dates, we start looking at flights. We usually start with two tools, Skyscanner and Google Flights, but later on we will use each airline's individual app or website to compare the prices. Because occasionally they do have even better prices. The main point here is to never settle for the first price you're shown on one site. The Explore option on Skyscanner and Google Flights is there to help you find the cheapest places to find to when you're flexible. Instead of choosing a specific destination, you can search Explore Everywhere on Skyscanner or Explore Deals on Google Flights, and it will first show you a list of countries ranked from cheapest to most expensive, and then each country's cities, also sorted by price. After that, it gives you a list of flights with different dates so you can browse and find the option that works best for you. It's great if you know when you want to travel but you don't know where to go yet, or if you just want to see what destinations are affordable for your dates. So it's also useful if you have a budget in mind and want to find trips that fit into it. Once you know where you want to go, you can start by typing in the destination you want to visit. For example, Edinburgh, which seems to have a good price, then select the month you plan to go. Let's say December, and look for the cheapest flights available. Keep in mind that cheaper flights often include a layover, depending on where you're flying from. That might be fine for you, but for us, since we live in Madrid, it's usually not worth it to have a stopover somewhere else in Europe. So we normally filter by direct flights only. If that's not important to you, you can leave it as cheapest flights and check all the options and dates available. Let's say we're happy flying from December 18th to December 22nd. There's a direct flight with Ryanair for around €144 for one person. Make sure you enter the number of people traveling right from the start. Sometimes you'll see a great deal, but there's only one seat available. Searching as if you're actually about to book the flight makes the whole process much more accurate and streamlined. The next step is to go to Ryanair's website and compare the price directly. So on Ryanair's site, enter the same destination, the same dates, and the amount of passengers to compare properly. Just note that when you see a cheap price listed on Ryanair or most of the low-cost airline apps, it's often only for one leg of the journey. For example, just the flight from Madrid to Edinburgh, not the full round trip. So always double check before booking. When you're booking a flight, airlines often give you different fare options. The most basic option usually includes your seat on the plane. It doesn't include a specific seat assignment, checked bags, or extra luggage. You usually only get one small bag that fits under your seat in front of you. When you book, you'll see the options. You can choose the basic fare or pay a little more for a fare that includes a 10-kilogram bag or other extras. It's not always about finding the cheapest flight though. We also consider arrival and departure times. Why? Mainly because of transport. Buses, trains, or the metro might not be running anymore when you get there, which can make getting to your accommodation quite tricky. Also, not all places have 24-hour check-in. If you're booking a hotel, make sure it has 24-hour reception, or if you book through booking.com, check that late arrivals are allowed. Arriving too late can be inconvenient and even unsafe, so it's best to plan your travel so you get there early in the day. Arriving too late can be inconvenient and unsafe, especially if you're unfamiliar with the city. And it can be stressful, especially if you're traveling alone or with children. We usually prefer to arrive early in the day so we have enough daylight to get settled and start exploring. For returning flights, being a bit later is usually fine because you know the city and how to get home safely. Once our flights are sorted, we move on to accommodation. We usually use Booking.com because we've had much better experiences with it compared to other platforms like Airbnb. We've added a link for you to book your accommodation through in the description. When choosing a place, we use filters for things like rating, 9 or higher, location, budget, and proximity to public transport or attractions. For short trips, we usually stay central, so we can walk to the main sites or get there easily with public transport. Even if a place slightly outside the city center is cheaper, it doesn't make sense if you lose a lot of time getting around. Piggybacking on what I said earlier, we also pay close attention to check-in policies. Some places don't accept late check-ins. We recommend booking accommodation that allows for late check-ins or self-check-in, just in case your flight is delayed or arrives late at night. Making sure timing works is really important, especially in winter when the days are shorter. That's also why we prefer flights that arrive earlier rather than later. Also, always specify how many rooms you need when booking accommodation. For example, if you're a family of 4, a 1-bedroom usually has enough space for everyone to sleep in that room. Sometimes it's an open space and sometimes extra people or kids sleep on a sofa bed in the living area. If you want separate bedrooms so the kids aren't in the living room, you need to book multiple rooms. Always double check the layout so everyone sleeps comfortably. This might sound obvious, but a lot of people skip this step. After flights and accommodation are sorted, we start planning activities to do when we aren't visiting the Christmas markets. We usually use Get Your Guide for this, and we love it for multiple reasons. They have free cancellation up to 24 hours before most of the activities, and you'll have all your tickets in one place within the app. We've added our affiliate link in the description. We earn a small commission, and it really helps support the channel so we can keep sharing our travel guides and tips for you. When you're looking for activities, start with Get Your Guide. Type the city or the place you're visiting in the search bar, and it will show you lots of options. Keep in mind, sometimes it only shows the most popular activities, not everything. So our tip is to search on Google for activities in that city first. When you find something you like, type that specific activity into Get Your Guide to see availability and book it. These are the 2 main ways we find activities for our trips. We like to plan this carefully because in December, sunset is early as we've mentioned, and you don't want to miss anything due to limited daylight. Being organized at this stage makes the trip much more relaxed. If we need a car, there are important things we need to consider. For example, will there be snow in our destination? Do I need to get winter tires? Does it have insurance? Does it have unlimited mileage? And if you have small children, you might need to request child seats. We also check pickup and drop-off times to make sure they align with our flights. Taking the time to check all these details ensures we don't run into any unpleasant surprises. To recap, we plan a Christmas market trip by checking dates, destinations, and flights, comparing options and airlines, and considering arrival times. We then book central accommodation, schedule activities around daylight hours, and ensure all transport and rental arrangements are taken care of. This approach keeps everything organized, safe, and stress-free, and you can follow the same steps to make your trip planning much easier. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can make more videos for you like this one. You can also check the links in the description for all the tools and resources we use to plan our trips, and let us know in the comments where you're visiting this Christmas. We'd love to hear about your plans. Safe Christmas travels!